This is the only ChatGPT video that you need to watch. In November of 2022, the world has changed forever. OpenAI released ChatGPT, a chatbot powered by artificial intelligence. It can write emails, code scripts, songs, and many more. In this video, I will show you 10 ChatGPT demos that will blow your mind away. I will show you how ChatGPT can wear different hats. It can become a data scientist, it can become a chef, and then a songwriter, and then a creative artist, and many more. Please, in the comment section, let me know which one you like the most. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the video. Have you ever opened the fridge and thought, well, what can I do with all that food? Well, I do that myself pretty much every day. So let me show you how ChatGPT can take a look at an image of a fridge and then come up with delicious recipes. So let's go ahead and show you the demo. So right now we are in ChatGPT homepage, and what you see that you can select either GPT 3.5, which is the basic model, or you can use GPT-4, which is a lot more powerful model. Please note with GPT-4, you will need to pay $20 USD per month to activate ChatGPT Plus, and I already paid that subscription. So what I'm going to do right now is you can just click on GPT-4, and what you see here is in the bottom left corner, there is a plus sign if you would like to attach images. So now I can upload an image, and ChatGPT can now read images. So now I'm going to say, could you please open up this image, and again, an image of a refrigerator. And what I'm going to say here, I'm going to ask ChatGPT the following question. What's in there? And here we go. So now ChatGPT uploaded the image in a way. And now the image showcases the inside of a refrigerator filled out with a bunch of fresh produce and items. And here are the items: apples, tomatoes, eggs, grapes, amazing. And then, carrots and so on. And then what I'm going to ask the next question is, could you please suggest 3 recipes for me? So here we go. So now ChatGPT is going to suggest recipes for you based on that. So I'm going to tell you, well, you can do stuffed bell peppers, and it's telling you the ingredients. And again, ChatGPT read the image, understood the content, kind of linked all these ingredients together to come up with an amazing recipe for you. You can do fresh fruit salad, and then you can do omelette with veggies as well. And that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this demo. Let's move on to the next demo. ChatGPT, the artist. So now ChatGPT is integrated with a really powerful model known as DALL-E 3. And basically DALL-E is pretty simple. You input a text, and then DALL-E is going to generate an image for you based on that text. Let me show you a quick demo. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to write a prompt here, but I need to activate first DALL-E 3. So if you click on GPT-4 and then you click on DALL-E 3 here, that is going to accept for you here a prompt, and that is going to generate an image. Instead of replying with text, it's going to reply back with an image. So now I'm going to ask basically ChatGPT to do the following. Could you please write for me or generate an image for an astronaut? And this astronaut is riding a horse. And let's take a look at the creative imagination of ChatGPT/DALL-E. And here we go. So now it's calling DALL-E 3 to create images for you. And please note that these models have been trained with the entire internet. So it has seen pretty much every single image, it has seen pretty much every single text in there, and the pairing as well of images and text. And here we go. Look how amazing and incredible that is. This is an image based on the description. Here you can see an astronaut riding a horse on the moon as well. Pretty incredible. So now we have demonstrated the capability of AI to become an artist. So let's move on to the next demo. So the next demo that I have for you today is called Analyst ChatGPT. So who knew artificial intelligence could become a financial analyst? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to upload a document. This is the 10K document. Simply, it's the financial reporting for any company. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about Apple company today. And then I'm going to activate a plugin within ChatGPT to be able to chat or talk to a given PDF. So let me show you that in action. So let's go ahead and shift to ChatGPT right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable plugins. So if you go and click on plugins here, you can see that no plugins have been enabled. And then if you click on plugin store, now it's going to open the world of possibilities for you. So you can have a plugin, for example, if you would like to ask or talk to a PDF, you can upload a PDF and talk to it. You can, for example, here draw diagrams. Just by typing text, you can draw diagrams for you. You can enable Kayak, for example, plugin to be able to book and organize a trip, for example. Many, many examples available, pretty incredible. So right now I'm going to activate Ask Your PDF, and I already have it installed, so I'm not going to be installing it again. So here I'm going to say, could you please activate Ask Your PDF? And the first prompt that I'm going to do is, could you please upload a PDF? That's what I want to do right now. So here I'm going to tell me, well, sure, please go ahead. It's kind of a little bit backwards in a way, but hopefully OpenAI, we're going to fix that for us. It's going to tell you, well, of course, please go ahead, upload your document. So I'm going to click here. And then I need to go ahead and grab the document. Please note that this is the document that I'm referring to. This is the 10K document for Apple. And I'm going to upload this document and see whether ChatGPT is able to act as a financial analyst for me or not. It's going to be able to, for example, tell me what are the risks associated with it, kind of read, scan through it, and summarize for me certain sections within the document. That's what I wanted to do. So I'm going to say click upload, and then I'm going to simply here navigate to my document. Here we go, Analyst ChatGPT. This is a 10K document. And then it's going to upload it for me. It's going to give me a link. So I'm going to say, could you please copy that? I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to paste it here and then press enter. So I'm just getting the ID and just pasting it back into ChatGPT. It's going to tell me, well, thank you for providing that document. How can I assist you with it? I'm going to say, could you please summarize this document in one paragraph? And look at ChatGPT kind of going through, calling this plugin and reading through the entire PDF and trying to understand what that PDF is all about. It's going to tell you, well, this document appears to be Apple's Form 10K, an annual report filled with the US or filed with the US Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC. And then it's documents outlining for you, kind of summarizing for you Apple net sales. Company do several products in fiscal year 2022. Company had approximately 164,000 employees, and so on. Pretty amazing. And then finally, I'm going to say, could you please list the risks associated with Apple stock? And let's see how, if ChatGPT is able to do that. It's going to ask you the PDF again plugin, and it's going to see, or kind of to tell me, hopefully the risks associated with the document. Here we go. It's trying to call it again for some reason. Please note that all of that is still in beta version. Just imagine what GPT-7, for example, we're going to do in the future. Here it's kind of reading it multiple times. Again, it's trying to read the document, trying to extract that risk associated with Apple stock. So here we go. Now you can see the risks associated with Apple. It's going to tell you there is macroeconomic and industry risks. There is global and regional economic conditions, impact on suppliers and partners. There is also credit and collectability risks as well. COVID-19 pandemic was massive hit as well to Apple. There is supply chain risks as well, tax-related risks. And there is also stock price volatility risk as well. Pretty amazing, pretty incredible. And that simply concludes the demo for today. Let's move on to the next demo. So the next demo that I wanted to show you is for Accountant ChatGPT. Have you ever thought that ChatGPT or artificial intelligence can work as a financial accountant? Let me show you a quick example. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be uploading a financial statement for a series of years, such as income statement as an example. And then I'm going to ask ChatGPT to do the analysis for us and also calculate additional key financial ratios. So let's go ahead and show you the ChatGPT demo. So what I'm going to do here right now is I'm going to go to GPT-4, and then I'm going to enable or activate the Advanced Data Analysis tool. So if you click on Advanced Data Analysis tool, then you could see that on the bottom left corner, there is a plus sign. So you can essentially upload an Excel sheet and then do the analysis on that sheet, which is pretty powerful. So if you click on that plus sign to upload an Excel sheet, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Accountant ChatGPT, and here I have a file for income statements from 2018 up until 2022. So basically, if you open this sheet, you will find that here I have the revenues, I have the cost of goods sold, I also have the gross profits, I also have the income as well, the after-tax income, after interest income for calendar year 2022 and from 2018 up until 2022. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload this sheet. And here we go. Now the sheet is being uploaded. And then I'm going to ask the first question, which is, could you please calculate for me the earnings per share for calendar year 2022. And let's see. So here we go. So now it's going to tell you, well, to calculate the earnings per share, what you need to do, that you need the net income for 2022, and you need the weighted average number of shares outstanding for 2022. And now ChatGPT is able to extract information out of that financial statements and is going to do that analysis for us. And I did the math before, and the correct number is $6.11 for 2022. So hopefully it will be able to extract that information. So it's telling you, and here it's actually discovered that there is an error, and now it's kind of correcting itself. And that's the power of artificial intelligence. So here it's going to tell you, it's trying to extract the information again for calendar year 2022. And it's taking some time. Here we go. So now it was able to calculate or to obtain the income, net income, which was $99 billion for Apple for 2022. So here it's asking me, okay, please provide the weighted average number of shares. I'm going to say the number is in the sheet. So here, basically, I'm saying I'm kind of guiding the AI to tell it, okay, could you please check out the number and make sure that that number is included in the sheet so it can go ahead and try to extract that information from there. So it's going to tell you, well, I found two rows for the number of outstanding shares. So it's going to tell you, well, net income divided by the number of outstanding shares, kind of typing the equation for you. And now it's going to calculate the earnings per share or EPS for you. And here we go. So now you can find the earnings per share or EPS for calendar year 2022 is 6.15, which is pretty accurate. Okay, the next one that I wanted to do here is I'm going to say the following. Could you please perform or calculate financial statement analysis? So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and ask ChatGPT to perform analysis on that income statement. So I'm going to say, could you please perform data analysis on that income statement for Apple Inc. And let's see if it's able to kind of analyze the data and kind of try to see the trend. For example, it's going to tell you, well, I'm going to do trend analysis. I'm going to do profit margin analysis. I'm going to do operational efficiency. And then it's going to try to call again the advanced data analysis tool within GPT-4, and it's going to do these analysis for you. So here we go. Now you can see ChatGPT was able to obtain the data from 2018 up until 2022. So it was able to extract the revenue, cost of goods sold, gross profit, research and development, and SG&A expenses. And it's doing the analysis, again, calling the advanced data analysis tool within GPT-4. And here we go. It's basically calculating for you the revenue, which is approximately 10.38, gross profit, which is approximately 10.38. And then it's going to tell you all the different gross margin percentages for all the different years. It's telling you as well the revenue as well for the R&D expenses. And it's telling you as well the SG&A or selling, general, and admin as well percentages too over the years. And it's trying to tell you, kind of summarize for you the entire data set, which is pretty powerful. And that simply concludes our demo. Let's move on to our next task. And now it's time for the content creator ChatGPT. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you how you can leverage the power of artificial intelligence to write emails, to write poetry, and to also write social media posts. So let's go ahead, move on to our ChatGPT. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to say, could you please write an email for me to congratulate. So I'm going to do copy, and then I'm going to come here, say, okay, could you please write an email for me to my coworker, Heather, to congratulate her for the newborn baby. The baby name is Lila. So let's see if ChatGPT is able to write an email for me. Here we go. So now it's going to say, dear Heather, I just heard the wonderful news about your new family addition. I couldn't wait for a moment longer than that. And saying you amazing, looks like an amazing email, to write to your coworker. So what I'm going to do here, and this is kind of the scary part for me, to be honest, when I saw that, I'm going to say, could you please turn that into a poem? Certainly, here we go. In a world of constant hustle and sway, Heather, today's special day. Lila arrived, so now it understood that Lila is the name of the baby, of the newborn baby. So Lila's arrived, the star so bright, bringing joy and filling the night. A name so sweet, let's like a whispered song in your arms where she belongs. Amidst the sleepless nights and coos, may you find joy in tiny shoes. Pretty amazing, pretty incredible, like really powerful rhythm as well. It's pretty creative. And finally, I'm gonna say, could you please take that and convert it, turn it into a Facebook post with hashtags? Absolutely, here we go. And now you can see it has been converted into, here you can see the emojis as well. And you can see it's the additional hashtags for newborn, baby Lila, joyful journey, and so on. You can convert that to an Instagram post, LinkedIn post, and so on. So that's it. That's all I have for this demo. Let's move on to the next one. So next is gonna be ChatGPT, the programmer. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to show you how you can leverage the power of artificial intelligence to write code in multiple languages, in Python, in MATLAB, in C, in C++, C Sharp, and so on. So let's move on to our ChatGPT window. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to say, could you please write a Python code that builds a dice roll generator? And here we go. Now you can see ChatGPT is writing code for you. So now it's not becoming the creative content creator or the chef. Now it's actually writing code and it's telling you, here we go. This is simply the function to implement or to write a dice roll generator. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna say, could you please convert that code from Python to C. So here we go. So now you can see the code is being converted from one language to a different language. So ChatGPT not only knows one language, actually knows multiple languages and know the conversion as well between those languages. And that's it. That's all I have for this demo. Let's move on to the next task. So next is your public relations ChatGPT. So ChatGPT can work as your PR consultant within a company or a startup. So let me go ahead and walk you through a quick example. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say, could you please assume that you work as a PR consultant and I would like to improve the company's image. Could you please give me 10 ideas? And let's see kind of brainstorming ideas of GPT-4. And let's go ahead and see. Here is going to tell you, well, authentic storytelling. This is very important. Community engagement, transparency, thought leadership, environmental responsibility, diverse and inclusive culture, customer testimonials, high quality content, regular communications, and so on. Okay, cool ideas. What I wanted to do next is, let's assume that I work, for example, at a company, and let's assume that I was able to get all these different reviews from a given product. So here we have reviews about the Amazon Echo product, and these are real verified Amazon reviews. So what I'm going to show someone, for example, some customers said, I love my Echo. Someone said, loved it. Someone said, for example, some customers here are not happy about it. So if you scroll to the right, you see the feedback. Some of them are happy. Ones are happy. 0 means not happy. Someone here is like Siri. In fact, Siri is better than Alexa, and so on. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to simply grab the positive one, just few positive ones right now. So I'm going to grab these ones here. I'm going to say copy, Control C, go back, come here, paste them. And then I'm going to say, could you please tell me what are the most positive things about the reviews? Basically what I'm saying here is I wanted to harness data about my company or service. And now I can use ChatGPT to tell me, okay, why my customers are happy, why they are not happy, and then I can improve those aspects. So for example, here you can see music and sound quality. Many customers love the Echo playing music, smart home controls, fun and entertainment. Now you can get an idea about your customers and if they're happy with the product or service or not. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to say, okay, what are the main common complaints about the product or service? And let's see if there are even any complaints. So here I'm going to say, I'll provide you with reviews. So to provide analysis, I will need to see reviews you're referring to. So I'm going to say, actually, I'm going to go back here to the Excel sheet. And then I'm going to select, let's say, a few negative reviews. So I'm going to scroll to the right, go here down, and try to select, here you can see there is one negative review here. So maybe I'm going to grab these few, copy them, come down back, and then I'm going to say this one, paste it back here, and let's see what people are talking about. Based on these reviews, here are the main positive aspects of the customer I've mentioned. So these are the main positive aspects: value of money, sound quality, fun and exploration, comparison to other assistants, and so on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, well, I would like to, what are the main negative aspects? Copy. So I'm going to say, what are the main or the most common complaints in these negative reviews? Here are the main ones. First of all, comparison to other assistants. So it's telling you that Siri, for example, is actually better than Alexa. Limited utility, paid subscription requirement, language limitation. Again, pretty powerful, super important service or skill of ChatGPT that can enable any company to know whether their customers are happy or not. Let's move on to the next demo. So the next one is therapist ChatGPT. So life can be tough sometimes, but ChatGPT is there to help. So let me show you how ChatGPT can give advice and become your own therapist per se. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to shift to our ChatGPT window, and then I'm going to first ask ChatGPT to pretend that you are my healthcare therapist. I'll start by asking you questions. And here we go. Of course, I'm here, I'm knowledgeable. And then I'm going to assume that, for example, let's say I struggle with lack of sleep and negative thoughts. Can I tell you my story? And now you can talk to ChatGPT as if it's your therapist. They tell you, well, of course, feel free to tell me or share your story. I'm here to listen and offer you perspective. Remember, I'm a machine and I'm not licensed therapist. And again, this is a quick disclaimer. This is just, like I'm just showing you a tool, essentially. But ChatGPT actually can work quite well. So here I'm going to provide a quick, brief story. So I'm going to say, well, I'm a 25 years old female. I had a privileged life. I grew up in a loving and caring family. After my mom died of cancer last year, I felt empty inside. I can't overcome that feeling of grief. Can you give me 10 action items that I can do next week or this week to overcome my grief? I'm genuinely sorry. You can see like how ChatGPT is becoming compassionate, offering you, it's like a human being. You're talking to a human being. Grief is deeply personal experience. It can manifest in many ways. Here you can seek professional counseling. You can go journaling, exercising, connect with loved ones, join a support group, establish a routine, engage in a hobby, limit exposure to negative stimulus, and finally, honor your mother's memory. Pretty amazing, really actionable insights, and that simply concludes this demo. Let's move on to the next one. The next one is legal ChatGPT. So ChatGPT can become your professional lawyer, and it can give you extremely valuable advice from a legal standpoint. It can also help you write contracts, help you write consulting agreements. So let's go ahead and show you a few examples. So what I'm going to do first here is I'm going to say, pretend that you are a lawyer in Toronto, Canada, for example. So here I'm specifying a specific region so it can follow specific rules and laws pertaining to that region. I own a place at 4 Spadina Avenue in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Draft a lease agreement for 1 year. So let's go ahead and see if ChatGPT is able to do that for us. I'm not a licensed attorney. This is kind of the quick disclaimer that they write first. It's going to tell you, well, here we go. Here is a lease agreement. And the lease agreement is entered between that, X, for example, landlord and between the tenant. And this is a property, the term, the rent, security deposit, and so on. Pretty powerful. And then what I could do next is I can say, well, I need to draft a service consulting agreement for my business. Can you provide me with a template? So I'm going to say, here we go. As you can see the landlord and tenant. And I can go ahead and press enter. And let's see if ChatGPT can wear kind of a different hat and start to draft a service agreement for your consulting business. And here we go. Now you can see the services. You can see the term, for example. You can see the compensation, expenses, pretty powerful confidentiality agreements and so on. A very good starting point, very good template that you can work with. Let's move on to the next demo. And finally, ChatGPT, the data scientist. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you how you can leverage ChatGPT to become your data scientist, basically. And let's go ahead and shift to our ChatGPT homepage. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say GPT-4, Advanced Data Analysis, click on that plus sign, and then that is going to upload a sheet for us. And now here I'm going to go to my data scientist ChatGPT. I'm going to upload house price data, and I'm going to say, could you please display the first 5 rows that we got in the data. So basically this data is for house prices. And now you can see that ChatGPT is actually running behind the scenes the Python code and generating an output from that code. And here we go. And now you can see ChatGPT is typing out basically the first 5 rows in the data, telling you there's number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, square foot of the living, floors, waterfront, view, condition, grade, and so on. Pretty powerful, pretty amazing. And here is typing up the second row, typing out the third row, fourth row, and so on. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to say, could you please plot the correlation heat map for that data? So here we go. It's still typing our data sets, and that should, here we go. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to say, could you please plot the correlation matrix, just to take a look at the correlations between features and how these features are correlate with each other. And you can see that here, if you scroll to the right, you can see the price, and this is simply the output that is expecting after we train our model. And here we go. Now you can see a nice correlation matrix, and you can see there is a strong positive correlation, for example, between price and square foot of the living at 0.7. That means as the house gets bigger, we are expecting the price to be higher. And you can see ChatGPT is kind of wearing multiple hats, becoming a data scientist, becoming a financial analyst, becoming many, many things. And then finally, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to ask ChatGPT to become kind of a machine learning engineer in a way. And can you train a machine learning regression model to predict the price? If you don't know what regression is, don't worry. All we're trying to do is we're trying to establish a relationship between all the different inputs to my model and the price of the house. And here we go. Now it's going to do data pre-processing. It's going to do feature selection, model training, model evaluation. And now it's going to train a model for us. And of course, if you can kind of explore what's behind the scenes here, if you say C show work, now you can see that Python code that generated this output. And here we go. Now you can see a model has been trained for you and showing the R squared or coefficient of determination stands at 0.7. That means 70% of the variation in the output has been explained by the input. That means we have a pretty good model. And that's pretty much it for this demo. I hope you enjoyed this demo so far. And there you have it, 10 incredible avatars of ChatGPT. Please remember to let me know in the comments which one you like the most. If you like this video, please hit the like button. That helps us a lot. And if you like this video, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel for more videos. And see you in future videos.